In this video, we're going over some of the best settings to use here in Black Ops 6 Season 6. If you're looking to drastically improve your aim, accuracy, as well as gun skill, you came to the right place. And by the way, if you need help leveling up all your weapons but don't have enough time to play, Mitch Cactus has you covered. They offer services such as max leveling all of your weapons and even unlocking camo challenges all the way up to Dark Matter. So for cheap, reliable, and safe Black Ops 6 services, check out Mitch Cactus, and you can use my discount code EARS to save off your purchase. Link is at the top of the description. As you can see, I play with an Xbox Elite controller with one paddle on the back, the short paddle set up for jumping. But these settings are going to work no matter what controller you're playing with, and also no matter what console you're playing on. Now, that being said, for the button layout, even though I play with a controller with paddles on the back, one paddle, tactical button layout is going to be amazing, allowing you to remap your crouch as well as prone button. So all you have to do to go into crouch or prone is to press down on the right thumbstick. This is going to be perfect, allowing you to still be able to aim down sight while going crouch and prone, so you can perform a drop shot and you're winning a lot more close range engagements. This is going to switch your melee to just pressing the B button, but in all reality, that is not going to be a big deal. You're going to be winning a lot more gunfights playing on the tactical button layout. Now, for your horizontal as well as vertical stick sensitivity, I highly recommend playing within that 1.2 to 1.6 sensitivity window. This is going to be perfect, allowing you to be accurate at longer ranges, but still be fast enough to turn on other players. So if you're drastically trying to improve your aim, accuracy, and gun skill, I do recommend playing within this window. It's going to be perfect no matter what playstyle you have. Now, the only other setting I actually go ahead and adjust is vibration. I personally like to go ahead and turn my vibration off. I don't want to have any type of play in my controller that could potentially go ahead and throw off my aim, accuracy, and gun skill at longer ranges. So that's why I have vibration turned off. This is a setting that you're either going to shut off and never turn it back on, or turn it off and you might actually like vibration. Now, as far as the dead zone inputs, these are mine. These are going to be dependent on your own controller health, so keep that in mind. Some of them might work, some of them might not. Now, under the aiming tab, we have to expand the sensitivity multiplier. I do recommend going ahead and adjusting your ADS sensitivity multiplier both for standard as well as focus. This is 1.0 by default. I highly recommend going ahead and bumping this down to 0.7. This is going to remove a lot of stick play in your controller. It's going to make you a lot more accurate at longer ranges. So if you're struggling with long range combat, definitely go ahead and make this adjustment. You're going to see an immediate improvement to your gameplay. Now, under the advanced aiming settings, you do want to go ahead and expand this, open up look inversion, and you do want to make sure that your ADS sensitivity transition timing is set to instant. The reason you want to go ahead and have this set to instant is so there is no delay, and obviously you can snap on the players a little bit easier and win more gunfights. Now, aim assist response curve type, I go ahead and keep this on standard. The reason I go ahead and keep it on standard is because that's what I personally like. But if you enjoy linear or dynamic, you definitely can go ahead and play on either or. These settings are going to work no matter if you're playing on standard, linear, or dynamic. Again, I like to play on standard because that's what I personally like. And if they do go ahead and make a snap adjustment in a future Call of Duty and they completely change how aim assist works, being on standard is like that safety net, because you're not going to have to relearn how to use and abuse the aim assist. So that's why I go ahead and keep mine on standard. Now, again, everything else here is going to be the same. Target aim assist is obviously kept on. Motion assisted behavior is going to be shut off. Now, for movement, I have tactical sprint assist turned on. If you do want to go ahead and do this, make sure your sprint assist delay is set to 0. So there's absolutely no delay. You do not want to have any type of delay when playing Call of Duty, especially on a controller. Mantle assist is turned off. Crouch assist is turned off. Corner slice is turned off. And my slide dive behavior is going to be set to hybrid. So I have full control of my player. I don't want to actively mantle over something and lose a gunfight. Slide, dive, lose a gunfight. I want to have full control. And that's exactly why I put it on hybrid. Everything else here is going to be the same. I've not made any other adjustments. Under combat setting, the only thing I have done is switch the C4 activation to 1 by 1, so I don't have to actually throw both of them at the same time to detonate it. That's going to be personally a personal preference setting, but that's what I go ahead and do under the combat tab. Now for the graphic settings, you want to jump right to the view tab because that's where everything that needs to be changed is located. Motion reduction preset, I have this turned off. Arachnophobia mode, I have it turned off. For the field of view, I recommend playing within that 100 to 120 FOV range. This is going to be giving you not only a bigger picture, but when you go ahead and couple this with the affected ADS field of view, do not play on independent. This is going to mirror whatever iron sight or optic you're running to the FOV that you have selected. So if you have 120 FOV, that's what you're going to see with your iron sight or your optic, and this is going to allow you to have less visual recoil, so you're going to be a lot more accurate at longer ranges. This is very important to go ahead and set here in Black Ops 6 and any Call of Duty for that matter that has an FOV slider and the affected ADS field of view, because you're going to be a lot more accurate at longer ranges. If you're ever wondering how other players can laser people across the map and it looks like they have no recoil, make sure you have this setting enabled. You're going to see a drastic improvement to your gameplay. Now everything else here is going to be the same, but I do go ahead and turn off world motion blur as well as weapon motion blur. Very important that you go ahead and shut this off so there's not going to be a haze on your screen. These are some settings that you need to disable immediately. Now for your first person camera movement, I highly recommend going ahead and playing on 50%. This is very important, so if grenades are going off, explosions are going off, you're not going to have as much screen shake. Everything's a little bit easier to go ahead and control, so make sure you guys have this set to 50%. There's no reason to play on 100. Everything else here is gonna be the same. I personally go ahead and turn on inverted flashbang, so it's not as annoying when you get flashbang. But these are going to be the graphic settings you want to enable when playing Black Ops 6 here in Season 6. Now, for the audio settings, they don't call me ears for nothing. There are definitely some settings here you need to adjust to make your gameplay a lot smoother and overall more immersive. For your master game volume, I keep that at 100, but for your gameplay music volume, I go ahead and reduce that down to 30%. You could probably tell it is reduced. The gameplay music is quite loud, and if you want to be able to hear footsteps and gunfire a lot easier, you definitely need to go ahead and turn this down. And what you also want to do, even if you don't have a headset, is to play on headphones based boost. This is going to crank up the gunfire as well as footstep audio, so it's going to be a lot easier to interpret where people are at on the map, even if you don't have a UAV. Now, if you have a headset that you've bought within the last 7 years, I think 99.9% of gamers do. I have Astro A40 TRs that I bought back in Infinite Warfare. Thinking about it now, that's way longer than 7 years. These are going to work with this setting. So if my headset works with this setting, odds are yours does. It's going to be a lot easier to hear footsteps and gunfire, and you're going to be dominating lobbies without the use of a UAV. So make sure you guys go ahead and run this setting. Everything else here is going to be the same. I've not made any other adjustments, but for voice chat, obviously because I make content, I am on push to talk because I do not want to go ahead and annoy the entire lobby, but that's all I do under the voice chat audio settings. And finally, under the interface settings, the only setting I recommend going ahead and adjusting is going over to your gameplay HUD and switching out your mini map shape to square. Not only is this going to be giving you a bigger picture, but it is going to be a lot easier to read and interpret the mini map here in Black Ops 6. This is such a good setting that in Black Ops 7, everything was square by default. So make sure you guys go ahead and switch that out. Again, everything else here is going to be the absolute default settings. That's all you have to go ahead and adjust. These are going to be the absolute best settings to run here in Black Ops 6, here in Season 6. I highly recommend going ahead and getting used to that 1.2 to 1.6 sensitivity range. Fine tune in between that range so you can figure out your perfect sensitivity setting so you can be as accurate as possible here in Season 6 and going into Black Ops 7. And even if you're going to go ahead and play Battlefield 6, this is also going to help you out because the sensitivities are somewhat the same across both game titles, which actually is quite awesome in my personal opinion. And what you also want to do here is, again, If you are trying to drastically improve your aim, accuracy, and gun skill, make sure you guys go to the view tab and play within that 100 to 120 FOV range, and make sure you have affected ADS field of view selected. If these settings help you out, come back to this video and let me know down in the comment section. And as always, drop a like on the vid, subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notifications. It's been your boy Ears. I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. Peace.